Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again. And today, people, today we're here for Kamen Geats episode 21. And today, people, today we was wrong, y'all. We was wrong, man. We was wrong. I'm sorry. We was wrong, man. Lopo was not Lopo was not the Desert Star, and we're gonna get into that right now. So we see that Buffer is out for vengeance. He's an angry Batman right now. Well, angry bull man. And yeah, in this episode we basically see that he is out on the prowl, basically trying to defeat the other Kamen Riders. And we see that the boy Daiji has basically made his return. He was scouted by the girl who scouted Buffer. I'm gonna get her name eventually, man. There's so many characters, but he was scouted by her, and since he didn't die, she scouted him, and now Daiji's back on the side of this anti Kamen Rider team that she's actually trying to create. So we see that the reason why the Jamato sponsors and stuff, they're out here, like Archimedo and her, they're basically out here trying to they're trying to find the goddess of creation, basically, who basically is Geats' mom, air quotes mom, saying that if they end up getting her on their side, or basically kidnapping her, then they'll basically be able to do whatever they want. Because essentially, I think she's the reason why they're able to change the world on a whim. Because I guess she just basically has that power, hence the word goddess. But yeah, so that's their overall end goal, is to defeat the DGP and end up taking this goddess of creation. So we end up seeing that the third round of the game has started, and the new hostages for this game is Lopo's family, her brother, her sister, and her mom. They are basically the new hostages, and they are looking for a melon. They are looking for a melon bomb so they can know which one to cut. But this time it's got 3 chords. Ooh. But throughout the episode we did see that they're basically defeating all these different Jamato, trying to find this melon. But we did end up seeing that Lopo ends up stealing basically bullying Tycoon, and end up Kawa, and ended up taking the zombie buckle back from her. So we did see that, well, basically taking it back from him, my bad. So we end up seeing that her and Neon are kind of like, these girls are friends, man. They friends, and they're actually starting to get closer with each other. So while they're still all fighting and trying to figure out where all these where the Melon Jamato is, the boss Melon Jamato, we end up seeing that Tycoon and Geats end up clearing a secret mission, which they got the boost knuckle. Well, Geats got the boost knuckle, and KY got the fever knuckle, the golden fever knuckle. I didn't think we see that later. I mean, well, yeah, I knew we were gonna see it eventually again, but we end up seeing it again. And that's when Geats ends up getting the boost knuckle, even though the boost knuckle was supposed to go to him because of the dude that's also backing him. And he actually says that, don't let that sly fox take all the goods. But we see that KY ends up getting the fever knuckle. So while that's happening, we end up seeing the girls are fighting a bunch of other Jamato, still haven't found the Melon Jamato yet, and they ended up getting attacked by Buffer. Buffer is essentially trying to steal the zombie buckle from Lopo, and he ends up beating the ever-living crap out of her, and ends up stealing it back from her. So after that, the round has ended, but they still got a few more hours left until the bombs actually go off, and we get some downtime. We end up seeing that Neon did jump in the way of the blast when Buffalo was getting ready to Buffalo's essentially getting ready to kill Lopo. We see that Neon ends up jumping in the way of, and she ends up getting hurt. So everybody kind of goes back to the base, and we see that Lopo is talking to Neon. Neon tells her, like, I didn't want you to get hurt out there because you're trying to save your family and stuff like that. So, but with that, we see that Geats ends up saying that, oh, I heard that Buffer stole your thing. I heard that Buffer took the zombie buck away from you. He's been a real nuisance lately, so he asks Nea to introduce him to Niram. We see that Geats ends up going and talks to Niram, and they go into the whole thing of Geats is asking Niram, who are you essentially, because essentially you're not technically from this era, and the dimension hopping people that the dimension hopping audience, apparently y'all can't be from this era, and you know, stuff like that. We see that Niram asks the same question, and I'm like, hey, there hasn't been a DGP that you haven't been in, so you're clearly not from this era either. So, and Geese is still, you know, doing his casual thing, trying to get information out of the bigger, higher ups of the DGP, asking him, how are you guys able to, like, basically dimension hop? How are you able to just change the world and give everybody these wishes and things like that? Because not even the gods can do that. And I'm like, wait, there are gods? Where the gods at? I wonder, we got gods and freaking Geats now? Like, I don't know if he was serious or not, but where the gods at? So we end up seeing that they ended up, we see Daiji talking to, Daiji talking to Buffer, and he tells him that, hey, I only, the reason why I even joined up with her is because I'm willing to do anything to gain this immense amount of knowledge, like, you know, because Daiji wanted his ideal world was he wanted to have infinite knowledge of everything. So that's the only reason why he's even freaking here. He does ask the girl how did she get his ID core back, and she says that she has like a secret connection. So hopefully we'll end up finding out who that secret connection actually is. But after that, we end up seeing that Neon and Lopo end up finding the base where all of the Jamato are hanging out with all the bombs and things like that. They basically have to defeat the boss Jamato. Then have to defeat him and defuse any melon bomb. Basically defuse the melon bomb before time runs out. So we did have a conversation between Lopo and Neon that we do get a flashback of later on in the episode, where she does reveal a Disaster card to Neon, which further making people think that Lopo is the Disaster. But they end up going there. They ended up calling Geats and Tycoon. They end up hinching up and fighting all of these Jamato. While they're fighting all these Jamato, we did see that Buffalo was actually on his way there. He was actually on his way there to basically intercept them and, you know, try to defeat everybody. But he's intercepted by Niram. Niram actually takes him out. Niram actually goes to fight him, saying that, yeah, man, you know, you're supposed to be dead and you're messing up my game, so I gotta get you out of here. And Niram actually uses the what driver was it? He uses the same driver that Ghidorah used. He ends up using this driver, and he actually hinges up, but he doesn't turn into Glare. He turns into Comrade Gazer. Comrade Gazer essentially looks just like Glare. He's just a different color swap. He's gold and white, which, you know, letting you know, like, man, yeah, this guy's a higher up. He's a prestigious man. He's a classic man. You know, his Comrade form got to look pristine. But yeah, so he fights Buffer, and Buffer ain't doing too hot. But we end up going back to our regular riders, who are basically fighting off all these Jamato. We see that Lopo has basically had enough, and she ends up stealing the fever driver from Kawa, since she had no buckle, because Buffer took her zombie buckle, and she ends up hitching up into using the boost knuckle and basically trying to run as fast as she can to get to the boss Jamato. But she ends up she punches the Kawa and punches Neon, making them think that she's the Disaster. She actually says that she is the Disaster. and she ends up using the fever driver, using the boost knuckle, or using the fever driver, and she ends up getting boost. And she runs off to try and defeat this the boss Jamato, while we see that Geats ends up using the boost knuckle as well to take out a bunch of other like smaller Jamato basically in her way. And she ends up kicking the crap out of the boss Jamato, destroying him. And when they do that, she ends up finding out what cord to cut when it comes down to the melon bombs. After all that, they end up she ends up running back to go essentially go help her family. So we end up seeing that Niram is fighting, not really fighting Buffer, but just overall just beating the crap out of him. Like, Buffer is trying really hard, and he's not even using his zombie buckle. He's using the freaking Jamato buckle. And he's trying to beat Niram. Niram is just overall just beating the crap out of him, which he should. But yeah, it's his first debut. Of course, he's gonna beat the crap out of everybody he sees. So after that, he does his ultimate attack, which he goes and stands on top of Buffer, stomps him out a little bit, uses his ultimate, and it deletes him. But before the impact even happens, we see that Buffer ends up using the zombie buckle to hinge it up into his regular, Buffer form, which is the zombie buckle, which actually keeps him from dying, essentially, because you got the whole zombie thing going on. And he ends up blowing the crap up, and Niram's like, yeah. But we end up seeing that we have the votes are coming in. They ended up saving Lopo's family. Lopo is trying to cut the wires and stuff like that, but then the wires grow and they end up growing, capturing her, and then now she can't get loose to end up cutting the wires. So that's when Neon runs in there, cuts the yellow wire, and is able to save everybody. Yay, mission complete. So they go back to the votes for the disaster, and everybody, including Lopo, ends up voting for herself. Voting for Lopo, and Lopo ends up getting retired. Turns out Lopo ends up talking with Neon before she ends up fading away, and we find out Lopo ends up finding the disaster card inside of Neon's room, and turns out Neon is the disaster this whole time. She was a disaster, and she says, why did you let me frame myself as the disaster and stuff like that? And she's like, I didn't want to do that to you. And then, Lopo's like, it doesn't matter if I don't get my ideal world, as long as I can help my family, whether it be now or in the future, then I'm just going to have to do that. And I want you to find what I'll find what your life's purpose is too. And then that's when she fades away. Then we see Neon go up to the game master, and she basically says that you planted that card in my room, didn't you? And he's like, yeah, I did. It was just a prank or whatever. But even though your cover was blown, the other two don't know that you're the disaster. And yeah, so good job. And that's when we have another moment where our character decides to stop holding back, essentially, and she says that I'm gonna end up, when she's like, now it's time to stop holding back, I'm gonna end up winning this. So now we are left with 3 writers who are essentially our main writers. Of course these 3 were going to be left, but man, I wonder how they're gonna feel when they find out Neon this whole time has been a disaster, which essentially does make sense. It does make sense of why it does make sense to a degree of why she is the disaster, because of all the backing that she sort of has. Like, she's got her dad, and she's got the game master, and she's probably got other, and then from what her dad said, she's got other help out there too. So her being the disaster is going to be kind of hard. It's going to be kind of hard to beat. It really is, because she's got a lot of background help. But other than that, it was a good episode, man. The next episode, we're fighting the game master, and he's gonna hinge chin up. And got 3 people left, so wonder who's gonna win this game. And also, what do you guys think is next for our Jamato riders? Essentially, I don't think Daiji still has his ID core, but we are going to see him hitching up in the next episode. So most likely he's going to get a driver from homegirl who recruited him, most likely, since she has her own little secret connections or whatever. But yeah, how you guys feel about this episode, man? Man, we were so sure that it was freaking Lopo. We were so sure that it was one of the new guys, but hey, man, turns out we was wrong, y'all. We was wrong. But it's actually pretty freaking good, because you led us on and made us think that it was Lopo. But it was actually pretty good. But yeah, you guys, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of this episode of Kamen Geats. And I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay henshined.